The Memorial Museum of the 21st October opened in 1976 in Kragujevac. It is dedicated to the memory of a couple of thousand of citizens of Kragujevac who were shot on the October the 21st in 1941 during the Second World War. The lower level of the museum is the art space, and it is meant to present various artistic and documentary exhibitions. The essence of these exhibitions is to preserve the memory of the tragic events in our history, like the one in the Second World War, with a clear message that it should never happen again. The story about the shootings begins with touching words of Nikola Tesla, our renowned scientist, who, although very old at the time, felt sincere compassion for the suffering of his nation. And this is the quote from the exhibition. The facts about Kragujevac were presented in the short historical prologue dating from the first written document in the Turkish sources of 1476 to the middle of the 19th century. Two collages of photographs of Kragujevac before the Second World War are presented on the second panel. They show the citizens in ordinary, everyday situations. The intention was to show the city and its people endangered by the fascism. In the April War, from the 6th to the 18th of April 1941, what was then Yugoslavia was militarily defeated and torn apart by the foreign countries who took part in this attack: Germany, Italy, Hungary, and Bulgaria. However, since the first days of occupation, the resistance against the enemy began, and it very soon changed into the massive uprising. The leaders of the uprising were Dragoljub Draža Mihajlović, leading the national movement, and Josip Broz Tito, leading the communist movement. The task of quenching the Serbian uprisings was given to the general Franz Beme. He will remain known in history as the person who issued the order on October 10, 1941, to shoot 100 citizens for each killed German soldier and 50 citizens for each wounded German soldier. Franz Beme managed to break the uprising by December 1941. The beginning of the tragedy of Kragujevac is linked to the liberation of the town of Gornji Milanovac, located 50 kilometers away from Kragujevac. That is when Chetniks and partisans captured a part of German company. On the third attempt to free the captured soldiers in the period from October the 14th through October the 16th, they fought Chetniks and partisans. Germans had 10 dead and 26 wounded soldiers, and this brought about the shootings in Kragujevac. The shooting started on Sunday, October 19, 1941, in the surrounding villages. On that day, the soldiers of the 3rd Battalion of the 749 Regiment shot 410 people, while 21 men managed to survive the shooting. As this was not enough, it was decided that the shooting should be continued in Kragujevac. The capturing started in the early morning hours on October the 20th. Several thousand people were captured and enclosed in the 4 wooden sheds in the suburbs. Around 6 o'clock in the evening, a group of 123 men and women, Serbs and Jews, were taken out to be shot. 9 people managed to survive. The shootings in Kragujevac started at 7 o'clock sharp in the morning. The groups were taken out of the sheds to the execution ground. Everything was over by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Thousands of shot and slaughtered people lay in the valleys of the 2 brooks. According to the data collected in the museum of October the 21st, 2,274 men and women were shot that day, while 30 people managed to survive. The empty walls direct the visitor's attention onto the hollow screen, a transparent projecting board which flashes the names and faces of the victims. "33 towers in the structure of the museum symbolize 33 mass graves. Envisaged as wells opening onto the sky, they symbolize the hopelessness experienced by the victims. The most disturbing documents which remain behind the victims are 42 messages written in the final moments before the execution. The sculpture of the eagle, the symbol of the Nazi Germany, ominously overbears the exhibition hall. This room is named the Bloody Fairy Tale. This place is envisaged as a temple of spiritually rising above the suffering and the pain. It symbolizes the tomb in which everybody has a relative, together with names and faces of the victims, a place to pay respect to the dead. After the Second World War, in 1953, the execution ground was turned into the memorial park of 352 acres. There are 30 mass graves there. 10 monuments have been built so far. The central monument dedicated to the pupils and their teachers, and has become the symbol of both the memorial park and the town of Kragujevac.